You're watching Cartel TV and I'm Simone.
Let's face it, when someone says Impreza, the first thing that comes to mind is the lovely WRX or the beastly WRX STI.
But the standard Impreza is a completely different kind of beast. In fact, let's face it, I wouldn't call it a beast at all.
But the Impreza still has some redeeming features.
Let's see if they're good enough for a price tag starting from $35,000 for this range-topping S-trim.
Today I'm reviewing the 2021 Subaru Impreza 2.0i S Sedan. Styling not really being an outstanding one. It doesn't look bad at all, but it also doesn't turn heads.
Personally, I love these bulges that combine with modern features,
such as these sleek headlights and these deep, even aggressive sections that hold the fog lights. Side silhouette reveals the shape of a compact sedan,
but as I said, it's not going to be turning many heads,
despite these nice 18-inch wheels reserved for the S-trim that I have here. On the plus side, there's nothing really offensive or outlandish about this design.
There are no vulgar details, out-of-place solutions or avant-garde ideas.
This is simply a compact sedan that looks like a modern compact sedan of its era. Okay, maybe a slight bit behind the era.
One thing I will say is, I think the hatch version looks better.
So, the engine.
If you're looking for an engine that can give you a nice, effortless cruise within the speed limits, one that's proven and familiar, one that's reliable, and that's about it, then this engine delivers. If you're looking for anything but that, you're better off looking at other options.
The engine found in the Impreza is a 2-litre naturally aspirated 4-pot boxer with 115 kilowatts and 196 newton meters of torque, the latter coming from 4,000 revs.
Yep, no turbo, not a heap of power, and not much in terms of performance.
Also, it's paired with a CVT. A good one, but still a CVT.
I guess we should be happy we don't get the 1.6 litre some other markets have.
But once again, it's about what you expect from this car.
If you're up for some relaxed cruising, then this powertrain doesn't disappoint. In fact, it's very good for relaxed cruising.
You get a smooth ride, relatively affordable, with a quick response, although a little bit lacking in the push department.
Steering is precise and suspension is a nice mix of comfort and handling.
The suspension is tuned to make you feel relaxed on a long motorway cruise.
The suspension is neither too firm nor too wallowy.
Of course, one of the best selling points of any Subaru is their all-wheel drive system.
I mean, it's very rare in this segment, but it's that amazing symmetrical all-wheel drive system that makes Subaru models some of the most trusted all-wheel drive vehicles around.
It really makes the Impreza feel sure-footed in all conditions.
But back to the engine and gearbox.
The CVT is good for getting the engine to its most efficient revs very quickly.
So the engine feels more responsive when you push the pedal hard.
However, you quickly notice that the fast push does not necessarily mean a powerful push. You'll often get more noise than performance, and that divorced feel between the sound and what is actually going on the road is just part of having a CVT.
In saying that, the CVT is actually a nice choice for this Impreza.
Most of them will be driven around the city or on the motorway.
In the city, you'll enjoy the zippiness when accelerating, and you won't be really disappointed by the lack of push.
Because you'll only ever be driving about 50 or 60 k's. On the motorway, at constant speeds, it doesn't really matter which gearbox you have.
In this trim level, the Impreza is one of the best options on the inside in terms of quality.
Soft touch materials are everywhere, exposed stitching really adds to the feel, and the 8-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto rounds off the first impression.
The screen is actually one of the best in its class.
This trim gets electrically operated leather seats with memory function.
They provide great support and they're obviously aimed at motorway comfort. The cloth ones in the trim below this are also really good.
Subaru hit the sweet spot with steering wheel feel a while back and they're really sticking to it.
It feels really good. In fact, so good, it makes me sad that this is not more of a sports car.
At first sight, you may think that there are too many buttons on it, but the layout is really good and you get used to the controls very quickly. Again, being a Subi, we also get the 3 screens.
These days when I get into a new Subaru, I have to remind myself that there's this extra screen and where to look at what time, depending on the info I'm after. But I actually get used to it really quickly and I appreciate having it. And it's also super handy to be able to look up and catch a view of the side wheel to make sure you don't scrape your rims on the gutter.
There's also plenty of storage space around the cabin. You get all the regular trays and bins, as well as cup holders. They're all decently sized and easy to reach.
There is enough space for the rear passengers as well, despite the compact dimensions.
Taller ones, like myself, may find the hip angle a bit steep, but there's definitely enough leg room and headroom even for adults.
However, in terms of amenities, the rear of the Impreza is pretty basic.
No air vents, no chargers, but there is an armrest.
Now, with this being such a competitive category, adding some extra amenities to the rear seats is becoming more and more important.
Before that, the boot.
This sedan version gets 460 litres of boot space, which is enough for most people looking into this segment. But I also want to point out that the more stylish hatch version only has 345 litres.
Aside from the beloved symmetrical all-wheel drive with active torque split, you also get electronic stability control, ABS, EBD, brake assist, traction control, auto hold, reverse camera, blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise control, front view monitor, lane change assist, lane departure warning, lane sway warning, lane keep assist, lead vehicle start, rear cross traffic alert, pre-collision braking and throttle management, brake light recognition, reverse automatic braking, side view monitor, automatic start stop.
You get it, there's more, and it's really safe.
Now, it's important to note that you also get lifetime capped price servicing and 5-year warranty. As I mentioned, this Impreza 2.0i S sedan will cost you $35,000 and prices work their way down to $26,000 for the entry level. If you prefer the hatch, then you need to add about $200 to this pricing.
This Impreza is aimed at people looking for nice, affordable motorway transportation. I'm thinking maybe younger drivers who'll enjoy the interior amenities, or their parents who, knowing their offspring are behind the wheel, will be reassured by all the safety tech and the extra capabilities of all-wheel drive.
It's for those who spend a lot of time travelling and who'll set the cruise control to 110 kilometres per hour and never really need an engine with 200 kilowatts in these conditions.
And for those people, the Impreza is really good. I mean, think about it. The efficient powertrain is a good thing, even the CVT makes good sense. Subaru went out of their way to cram as much safety into this car as possible, and they've also created a comfortable, ergonomic, accommodating and practical interior. Thanks for watching Cartel TV. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification button and follow us on social media. Now, are you impressed? Let us know what would be your pick in the small car segment. See you soon.